Welcome to the Freelance Tribe. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. Stay tuned for real-life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Judith Böhlert, a freelance full-stack engineer and consultant who, after a few years of working full-time as a full-stack developer, embarked on a self-employment adventure, hoping to find calm and sustainable approach to working in tech. And today we'll discuss her content creation process and how it helps to build a personal brand and get clients. So welcome, Judith.
Hi, Yuri. Thanks for having me.
Super happy to finally talk to you. And have you found a calm approach to being a tech freelancer?
No, I think I'm still looking for that, but it's fun. I think it's a fun challenge, and I feel like I'm well on my way. So yeah, freelancing definitely gives me, I think, a few more options to play with. But I think also, especially the first year of freelancing can be a little bit challenging. So I wouldn't really call the last year calm.
When did you start your social media journey?
Probably it's difficult. Maybe about a year and a half ago. So I've been like a passive user of LinkedIn for a long time. I don't know when I created a LinkedIn account, probably like around 2017, 18 or something when I started my first full-time position, but I never posted anything. But I think that also helped me because when I started posting, I felt like I knew the platform already a little bit and how it worked and how people kind of interacted on LinkedIn. And then, yeah, I think I started posting about a year and a half ago, really without any sort of plan or strategy. I didn't do it consistently at all. And then at some point, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to start doing it once a week. And once that felt manageable, I decided to do it twice a week. And that's what I'm still doing. So it's not a lot. I know so many people out there who are posting twice a day or every day or something. But yeah, for me, it's twice a week, and that's manageable and sustainable for me.
I recently had a conversation with a freelance ghostwriter, and she told that she is posting twice a week. So yeah, I feel like it's totally enough. And I know also those people who are posting like once a day, and I'm like, are you crazy? Do you have lives? But yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. And tell me, do you have a plan now, a content plan now?
Yes, I'm not in the sense that I have it scheduled or anything, but I have a list just of ideas. So that was like, I would say, the most important kind of change I made when it comes to maybe systems a little bit. At some point, I realized that I sometimes got ideas when I was maybe on the road. And also, I get a lot of ideas for content from interacting with other people. So sometimes I will post something, and just from the comment section on that post, I will get 5 new ideas for other posts. And for me, it really helps to just have like a database where I can throw all of that in. For me, that's Notion, but it could be any simple note-taking app. It could be pen and paper, but I think the best thing is if you have something that you can also access from your phone, maybe in case, I don't know, you're on the subway and you get an idea or something. So I have that. And then whenever I want to post something, I just kind of go through my list, and some of these things there, they are already written out. Sometimes I feel like, just writing the whole post, and some of these things are just like the wildest thoughts. Like sometimes I have to kind of think, what was I even thinking when I left that note? Usually I can remember what I wanted to post about, but sometimes it's also just gibberish.
So I feel like you're definitely a thought leader, at least out of your conversations on LinkedIn. So every post, it's not just a post. I would say it's like a conversation starter. So how do you do this? Like, what is your post creation process? And not just post creation process, but also posting and engaging with other people.
Yeah. I don't know about the thought leader, but I think what really helped me there is to be very open and also sometimes quite vulnerable, because that I feel really sparks conversations. And at the beginning, I mean, I also experimented a lot with my content. And when I started posting, I was also one of these people with their excited to announce post. Like that's how we all started, right? But then I realized that that didn't really give me anything, and it usually didn't spark any interesting conversations. And I realized if I'm being a little bit more open and vulnerable and sometimes personal, that really like good conversations came from that. And also for a while, I really tried to generate conversation by somehow leaving with a question. So some like LinkedIn gurus will tell you to always finish with a question and a call to action or something. But I don't do that anymore, or not on purpose, at least. Like sometimes I will ask a question when I genuinely have a question and I want like my network's opinion on something. But right now I kind of stay away from all these growth hacks that you sometimes see, which tell you how to format your post or how to start your post, how to finish it. And yeah, really try to focus more on the content and it being very personal, I would say. And then by now, I feel like I've built quite a nice community on LinkedIn. So yeah, then people will just, I think, comment if they have something to share, and if not, then not, and that's completely fine.
What kind of posts didn't work for you?
I don't know if I would say didn't work, but one thing I don't do a lot anymore right now is like really technical posts. That also something I experimented with a little bit. I'm a software engineer, so of course sometimes I thought like, yeah, I'm gonna do like a bit more knowledge sharing and share about, I don't know, some programming language or something I learned. But these posts really required a lot of effort because you have to put a lot of research in there to really make sure that you're sharing the correct information, and they didn't perform well in that sense. So I don't know, people didn't engage with them a lot, and also people didn't really leave a lot of comments, which makes a lot of sense. I think if I think about myself, if I scroll through LinkedIn, I would probably much rather comment on a personal story rather than a tutorial for some programming language.
So what kind of posts are working the best for you?
I really think the a bit more personal ones where I'm really sharing my story, and I have the tendency sometimes to be a little bit sarcastic. Sometimes that works. Sometimes one or two people get offended, but I guess I don't know. That's part of the deal. And by personal, I don't mean at all that you have to like share personal details of your life or something. I think you can put a lot of your personality into your posts just by kind of the voice you use, the way you write, and so, for example, I sometimes share like little personal things from my life, but there's other things I don't talk about at all. Like in my posts, I don't share anything, I don't know, about my family or my relationship status or something. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you can do that if you want to. But I don't do that. But then, I don't know, sometimes I'm sharing that I have my ukulele right next to me, or that I have a motorcycle, or that I sort my books by color. These are these like little things I feel, which gives people an idea of what kind of person I am without me feeling like I'm oversharing or I'm putting something out there that I would rather have, not out there.
Do you have specific days to post on?
Yes, right now I try to do Tuesday and Thursday, but then also yesterday I just had an idea, so I just posted it. So I'm not super strict with it. I was like a lot more strict with kind of my posting dates. Then I would really usually on Saturday or Sunday just sit down, write out my posts, and then use the scheduling feature to schedule them for Tuesday and Thursday. But yeah, now I'm also sometimes like just taking it a bit more easy and posting when I want to.
So 2 posts a week, how much time does it take for you to create them, post them, and also to go into comments and continue all the conversation that those posts spark?
That's a good question. Creating like the written posts, probably not that much. So, as I said, it really helps to just keep this list of ideas so that when you want to post something, you really have this database where you can just look for an idea and also kind of see what you feel like that week. Like sometimes I feel like, yeah, sharing something a bit more light. Sometimes I feel like sharing something a bit more serious. And then maybe it takes me about an hour, I would say, to write those posts, but then really all the comments and messages and connection requests, that takes a lot more time, I would say. I would say I probably spend around an hour per day on LinkedIn. And that doesn't include like any time where maybe I'm on the subway or something and quickly checking notifications. But yeah, I would say about an hour a day. And then recently I played around with video a little bit, and that takes a lot more time. So these like little videos that I post, which are what, like 90 seconds long or something, that probably takes like right now, I would say an hour and a half to kind of film that and edit it. I will probably get faster with those because I haven't posted a lot of these videos, but right now that really takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely practice, and the more you do the same thing, the
Yeah.
easier it's become. And by the way, do you use any AI tools in preparation of your posts and videos?
Yeah, but just for the videos and just for the subtitles, really. So I don't, right now, I don't use AI to create my content just because I haven't found a way to, I don't know, I think keep my tone of voice. That has always been something really important to me, that it really sounds like me. And to be honest, I have tried it a couple of times. Like I've asked ChatGPT for ideas, but I was always like, nah, this is not me. And then yeah, for the video creation, it really helps. So I have this tool where I just film the video, and then it will auto generate the subtitles for me. So that's really just a tedious task that I wouldn't want to do manually. Yeah.
And for you, what is the hardest part of creation of a content?
I I think what's difficult for me is that social media is really designed to be addictive, right? And I'm not immune to that just because I'm like posting on LinkedIn, which is supposed to be somehow a business or professional platform. It doesn't make it any less addictive, and I see it as part of my job. It's basically marketing for me right now. But still, I have to be very careful, I think, with how often I check LinkedIn. And there is this little dopamine hit, I would say, when you open LinkedIn and you get like 10 new likes or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can totally relate to that. And especially when, for example, I need to check something for my work and then I see notification, I click to notifications and I'm like, oh my God, I got lost. So I totally understand what you're talking about. And I wonder, how do you stand out on LinkedIn?
That's difficult to say about myself, I guess. But I think it's exactly what I mentioned earlier, that maybe I'm a bit more personal and vulnerable than some other people, especially in the tech sphere, I would say. So yeah, maybe that's how I stand out. And I think it really took time for me to get comfortable sharing like that. And for that, it really helped me to kind of build my network slowly and consistently. So I yeah, I don't get like 1,000 new followers every week, and I think I also don't want that, because right now I feel like, I mean, of course, I'm still somehow posting into a black box, but I feel like I know my community on LinkedIn a little bit, and there's always like some people who always show up for every post and leave a supportive comment, and yeah, really seeing the support that I got from the community there, that was super helpful, and that allowed me to really share a bit more personal things and be a bit more vulnerable and open, and also really share the challenges that I'm facing right now. So I share what's going well, and I also share what's not going well. Yeah.
I know some people who are trying to start posting on LinkedIn. They do it for 1, 2 months, and like, it doesn't work, and then they stop. So, What is the secret? What is your secret of being consistent?
I think it's the question of why you want to do it. So especially right now, the freelancer market is a bit difficult in the tech scene, especially. So lots of people who don't even like social media or don't like LinkedIn, they decide that they want to start posting, and they start posting and expect 10 new leads every day in their inbox. And I don't know if it works like that. So first of all, it really takes time. And then I think that the best way to do it is really to just enjoy it. So if you have some kind of other motivation apart from, let's say, finding clients or generating leads, then that really helps a lot. And for me, that's really the community on LinkedIn. And yeah, I enjoy posting. And also sometimes when I run out of ideas, I don't post for a week or two. That's completely fine. The algorithm will punish you a little bit for like the first 1 or 2 posts when you come back, but it's fine. Like, who cares?
How does being active on LinkedIn help you to get clients?
Yeah, good question. So first of all, I would say the content I post isn't even targeted at potential clients, because right now I talk a lot about freelancing and how to survive your first year as a freelancer. So the people who engage with my posts are a lot of other software engineers and especially other freelancers or people who want to start freelancing. So I think if my main goal was client acquisition, I would really have to change my niche a little bit and change the topics of my posts. But even with like the content I post right now, I think it just gives me visibility. And I feel like a lot of people really appreciate that I'm just sharing what's going on in my freelance life right now. And that means they really support me. So I have a couple of people who will always tag me whenever they see like a job ad for freelancers, and that's super helpful. And I definitely get a few more like inbound leads, and just start some conversations, I guess, with potential clients.
And for someone who wants to be active, what is just one easiest step to take right away to become visible on LinkedIn?
The thing with LinkedIn is that I think you can be visible on there without even posting. So I would start by really cleaning up your profile a little bit. So make sure that you have like a photo. It doesn't even have to be like a professional headshot or something. Just like a nice photo. You can use like this banner to display some more information about you. Use the biography, the featured section. Really fill out your skills, your work experience, and then you can really use LinkedIn almost as like a profile or a CV. And then if you want to start posting, I would say that's a cherry on top. Like, no one has to post. You can also just kind of see LinkedIn, I would say, as your personal news feed. That's what I do. So I'm completely rigorous with my feed. As soon as I see something I don't like, I will unfollow that person. It's a bit hard sometimes, but I just want to make sure when I open LinkedIn that what I see in my feed is really interesting to me. That it's also how I stay up to date on like industry trends and so on. So that's also something I would do, really curate who you follow. And then if you want to start posting, just do it. Like, so many people ask, like, how do I start posting? I'm like, yeah, well, how do you start posting? Like, you write a post and you
Start
publish it,
posting.
and then exactly post about something. Just maybe think about what kind of challenges you were facing lately or where you were 1 year ago. I think that always helps to kind of write for people who are 1 or 2 steps behind you, because if you write for people who are like 10 years behind you, they are so far from your experience that they might not benefit from your perspective. But if you really write for the people who are just like 1 or 2 steps behind you, I think that's super helpful, and you can share your knowledge and they can probably benefit from it, and then hopefully that will spark some interesting conversations.
How do you feel about commenting on others' posts?
I like it, and I have absolutely no strategy for doing it. So for me, it's really if I see a post and I want to leave a comment, I will do it. But yeah, I don't do it in any sort of strategic way. So I heard that you're supposed to kind of comment a lot in the 30 minutes before you post something, and then also in the 10 minutes after you post something. And then, I don't know, I'm scrolling through LinkedIn and I don't see anything where I want to leave a comment. And I will never leave one of those like interesting or agreed comments. For me, that's just not worth it. So I will leave a comment when I want to. And that's it. And I think that can also be a good first step if you want to start being a little bit more active on LinkedIn. Again, curate your feed, like follow people you find inspiring somehow. And then, yeah, maybe just leave comments on interesting posts. And maybe that could be a little bit easier than posting yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like only on interesting posts, because exactly this words like agreed, congratulations,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing, etc. They make no sense at all. And what I
And the
noticed,
worst
yeah,
is ChatGPT generated comments. They make me so angry. It's like if someone just takes my post, puts it into ChatGPT, and asks it to generate a comment, and it's so obvious, and I'm like, why you are wasting your time, and quite frankly mine as well. So it's like this perfect summary of my own words, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
the fun
Why?
thing
But
that
thank you.
the fun thing that I always feel those posts, I just smell them, those comments. And in my mind, I want to ask a question like, how often do you use ChatGPT to make comments like this? But I usually ask a question to continue this conversation. So I feel like people who are doing this in a good way, okay, let's forgive them their ChatGPT-ishness. But if
Yeah.
they continue the conversation, I feel like it's good. But if they do not answer to my question, I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand you. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you. Never. Bye. And yeah, and also one thing that I noticed, what helps to be a little more to show your post to people, that if you had personal conversations with someone, they will see your post for a few days. And when I first saw it, I was super surprised. I'm like, why this? I just had this conversation with person, and this person liked my post. Like, why is it so? And then I understood that's
Yeah.
how it works. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, also one of the strategies. And Judith, I really wish to have the sky as the limit, but time is the limit to our conversation. So the final question: what is your favorite food?
Ooh, that's easy. It's croissants. Some people say that doesn't count, but I think it counts.
Just simple croissants or with something?
No, plain. I'm a big, like a pain au chocolat or something is also nice sometimes, but I'm a big fan of a plain croissant with a black coffee.
Got it. And what is the best way to connect with you?
LinkedIn. I mean, we talked about LinkedIn a lot. There's also judithböhlert.com, but that basically just says send me a message on LinkedIn.
That's how you create a website, just to let
Yeah,
people know that you're on
exactly.
LinkedIn. Okay, got it. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, Judith. And it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
Thanks, Yuri.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button, 5 stars, and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.